So first of all, welcome everybody and good morning. My name is Gina Volynsky, and I'm honored to serve as Director for the Center of International Development at Rockefeller College at the University of Albany. And I would like to first welcome everybody over here, not just the people from the university community, as well as the guests that we have coming in from out of town and from other agencies. We have about 75 people registered, and in true university fashion, they will probably trickle in within the next hour or so, so please hold on to your seats, mark your territory. So first, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the Center for International Development. For the past 30 years or so, we've been working side by side, people all over the world, in helping them advance their goals towards a society that's more just, that's more prosperous, and more stable. We have worked in over 40 countries on 4 continents around the world. And the programs that we implement are multi-year programs on the ground. So we have a skeletal staff here in Albany, but most of the work that we do is actually not here in Albany. It's actually in countries all over the world. Most of them are developing countries, and most of them are countries that suffer from violent extremism that unfortunately is on the rise, as well as their targets and often destinations for trafficking. And so you're probably wondering, why are we sponsoring it? Why are we sponsoring this conference? And the reason is that during these 30 years of working around the globe, we've implemented over 200 projects that have been at least $300 million in total, and that have helped thousands of people around the world. Unfortunately, as we've seen, even though we've been working tirelessly, things around the world are not where we would like to see them. In fact, I was having dinner yesterday with some of our speakers, and most of the people that we're having dinner with have been doing this work in international development for over 20 years now. I've been doing it for 30 years, and some of my colleagues have been doing it for decades as well. And we were lamenting the fact that it seems like totalitarian regimes are on the rise, that human rights are being eroded all over the world, freedom of speech is being eroded. But at the same time, as we were comparing notes of all the places that we worked, places that are very corrupt, places that will probably come up during the conversation today, like Afghanistan, Pakistan, Eastern Europe, parts of Africa, we realized that we've been doing this for many, many, many years, but at the same time, we have seen some of the worst that is happening in the world, but at the same time, we've also seen some of the best. We've seen how in those countries where these terrible things are happening, people are not just victims, people are also trying to improve their situation. And on the balance, humanity as a whole seems to continuously have hope that's undying, that things will just get better. So no matter how bleak things look sometimes, we all care. And again, we are, not doe-eyed, fresh off the boat people. We have been doing this for many years, and we've seen this, and we still believe that change can happen. And more importantly, we still think that we have a responsibility to do something. And we are trying to do something. The world really is borderless. And our university is an example of that. We have people here who are from here for many years, but whose families have come from many other places. And then many of our students are international students who come from the same countries that we're going to be talking about. And so we have a responsibility for ourselves and for the people that we call colleagues, friends, and neighbors to continue to work on issues such as trafficking and the rise of violent extremism. And in reality, this is actually something that the Center for International Development has been doing for many years. We work with governments around the world, with civil societies, to try to make sure that governments are more effective and more efficient and more responsive to their citizens, and that citizens actually know how to make their voices heard. And so what we're hoping through this conference is we're hoping to accomplish a few things. First, we're hoping to bring information and knowledge and educate the greater university community and the greater community in Albany about trafficking, human trafficking, about violent extremism, and more importantly, the interconnection between the two. And then for ourselves, we hope to learn as much as possible from it and stimulate conversations around it. And as a university, we want to stimulate research around it. And we at CID, we are sort of the development arm, or the flagship development arm of the university. We do international development on behalf of the university all over the world. And we are quite unique. There are many organizations that implement development projects, but we actually reach back into the university system to bring in experts, cutting edge thinking and research. So ultimately what we're hoping that this will continue to stimulate research within the university and beyond, research and learning that then we can take and turn into action, into positive action in the field. And so first, I want to thank all of you for coming here. And I want to thank our speakers, many who came from other cities, as well at one point from other countries. And I also want to thank the university for supporting this, particularly the auxiliary services and the Office for Diversity and Inclusion. And I'm also very glad to see that the university supports this, again, not just in terms of words, but also in action. So we're very happy and honored to have here the Senior Vice Provost and Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. William Hetler.